Hi, in this video you're going to continue with programming techniques and Turing machine. So already we have seen about storage and finite control. The second one is multiple track. So you're going to discuss about multiple tracks in this video. Okay, first we'll recall what is the structure of a basic Turing machine. So basic Turing machine consists of a finite control. We know that finite control is nothing but a set of states and an input tape. The size of the tape is infinite and it is divided into cells. Each cell is capable of storing one information, or that is one bit of information or a symbol. Um, then the size of the tape is infinite. By default, all the cells of the tape consist of blank symbol, say B. So now, in the first programming technique, that is storage and finite control, just we modified the structure so that along with the state, we started storing some information so that the capability or the acceptability of the Turing machine got raised. So here we are going to add some more features for the Turing machine, right? So so along with the finite control, we were adding some information. That is, we just modified the structure of the finite control so that we were able to store some additional information along with the state, right? Okay, this is your head, and here, so that single tape is divided into multiple tracks. So instead of having a single track, previously we had a single track, and each track or that tape input tape is capable of storing a string of information, right? So now, so I'm not, one thing you have to keep it in mind is that I'm not adding an extra tape to the existing Turing machine. I'm splitting the existing tape into of different tracks. So now in this diagram I have shown you two. Input tape is divided into two different tracks. We'll see how a Turing machine with more than one tape looks in the next topic. So time being, assume that a single tape is divided into multiple tracks, and each track is capable of storing a string of information, right? So now we'll explore the structure with the help of an example. So here you are asked to construct a Turing machine to recognize the language WCW. So what does it mean? W is a string that is made up of binaries, that is zeros and ones, and followed by C, which acts as a separator between this W and this W. And again, this W is a copy of this, right? So this means that W belongs to any possible strings that is made up of zeros and ones. Right, this we took it from regular expression. Okay, now for instance, we'll take W is equal to 1101. So when I say W is equal to 1101, then how our input language will look like? So instead of W, just replace with 1101, followed by the separator C, and followed by, again, you have to repeat the string W. So I have repeated. Now we have to construct a Turing machine to recognize this string. So before making use of these structures or thinking about the logic of how to solve this problem, we'll think what it is and what are the possible ways to solve it. So what I have to do? So I have to verify whether the string before the separator and after the separator are equal. Am I right? So what I have to do? I have to check the string before the separator and after the separator must be equal. So this is my target. So using Turing machine, what can I do? I can store this information in a tape and I can process one symbol at a time, right? It means that if I'm verifying, that is, I have to take a symbol in W that is left to the separator. I have to verify whether the same symbol appears in the right of the separator. And also another important thing I have to verify is that in the same position. What does it mean? When one appears in the first position before the separator, the same one must be appearing to the symbol, first position of the string that belongs to the right of the separator. Am I right? So if I say here 1 and instead of 1, if 0 is present, then it means that this string does not belong to the language of this form. So all the strings that belongs to this language must take this form. What is the form? W followed by the same string, that is W. So here the important constraint we have is that I can scan only one symbol at a time and I can verify only that. And previously, what are all the Turing machine that we have constructed, what we did, so in order to differentiate between the visited and unvisited one, we converted the visited symbols into some other symbol, which does not belong to the input symbols, right? So for example, while constructing Turing machine for 0 power and 1 power n, what we did, so while scanning, after scanning a 0 in 0, we converted that to x. Why we did that? Just to differentiate between the visited zeros and unvisited zero. So we know that x does not belong to the strings of what to say, input symbols, right? That is sigma. So here also will be following one thing. So what I can do, I can scan this and I'll come back towards right and I have to check for this one. What is the problem with the existing technique, that is converting that to some other symbol and waiting for the other symbol? Here I have to remember. What I have to remember, if I am scanning 1 here, then after the separator, the first symbol must be 1. So the machine must be capable of remembering the first symbol, whatever it has scanned, and it has to check or verify whether it is scanning the same symbol after the separator. Am I right? Yes, that it has to do. What? Then we have to think, what is the facility available for me to do this? So already in the previous lecture, we have seen that along with the state, I can hold some information, right? So I can make use of that. Okay, no problem. Right, let it be. So I can remember this. So after the separator, if I'm scanning the same symbol, then I'll okay, the same symbol is accurate. But how to differentiate between the visited one and unvisited one? So to do that, either I can change the symbol to some other symbol which does not belong to the input string, or I can use the multiple track facility. We'll see how we can do it. Okay, so we have taken multiple, that is 2-track Turing machine here. So in the first track, I have stored the input string, and in the second track, I have not yet stored. So by default, all the cells of the second track of my Turing machine consist of blank symbol, say B, right? So now I have to process it. The idea is very simple. If I'm scanning this one, and I'll be marking this as visited just by replacing the blank below that by some other symbol, which is again different from your input symbol, right? So the only thing you have to remember is the notation that is different from your basic Turing machine structure. The logic is very simple. Oh, that's what I have done. So first symbol. So I have to remember where I'll be remembering. I'll be remembering here. That is in the finite control, right? So let me write it. Okay, so I'll be remembering here, but I have to differentiate between the visited and unvisited symbol. That I am doing with the help, that is replacing the blank below the visited symbol by some other symbol, right? So okay, so seeing the logic and representing diagrammatically is very easy. Now we'll see in the next slide how to write transition function for it. So I'll be moving towards right. After the separator, I have to see the same one. See, if I'm seeing that, I'll mark that as visited and I'll come back towards left. Again, I'll check for this. I'll remember this along in the finite control. Go back towards right and I'll repeat the process until all the symbols are visited, right? And finally, if this conditions got satisfied, that is if the string is of form WCW, then the Turing machine will be entering the accepting state, stating that this given input string belongs or in the form of WCW, and it belongs to the language of the given Turing machine. That I can conclude, right? So now we'll see how to write the transition function. I have not written the complete transition function which is required. I've written only for few cases. You have to continue this as the worksheet, right? So here what we have decided. We have decided to store the first symbol or the symbol that I'm scanning in the left side of my separator in the finite control, right? So since I'm going to remember one symbol, I have included one blank. So now followed by what is the structure of a transition function state, followed by the input symbol. So along here the input symbol now is not a single track. I'm going to consider a multiple track. So how many track? 2 tracks. So in the first track, I'm storing input symbol. The second track is initialized with blank by default symbol, right? So 1 comma b. So what we decided, whatever symbol I scan here in the left hand side, okay, starting from left. Why? Because Turing machine always moves from left or starts with the first symbol that is present in your input string, right? So that has to be remembered. Where will I be remembering it? Along with the state, right? So this is my storage and finite control. So here instead of blank, I am replacing it with 1. Since I am doing something different from the existing one, I make a transition, right? So now what we have to do, so this same symbol have to appear in the same position in the right hand side of it, the separator. So what symbol I have scanned, I am remembering it. And to differentiate the existing one, or that is visited and unvisited one, either I can save or modify the visited symbol to some other symbol, or I can, since I with the help of multiple track, I'll mark that as with some other symbol. You can use replace with, instead of star, you can use some other symbol too. Okay, so this one comma star. So I am replacing this blank with star. Now what is my target? I have to move towards right. Okay, so this will be moving towards right. Note it down that this one is still remembered. When this will be erased after scanning the same one after the, that is in the right side of your separator. So this moves along towards the right. I'm not changing anything. See here, I'm next to symbol. If I'm scanning 1 comma blank, it reminds us 1 comma blank. Suppose if I'm scanning 0 comma b, it reminds us 0 comma b. So only the first symbol. The next time when you come back towards left, you have to consider the symbol that is near to your visited one, right? And the process repeats. So that's it. So I have given you a worksheet asking you to construct a Turing machine for it. This is not a complete Turing machine. You have to complete it, right? Okay, fine. So this is your worksheet. So you have to recognize the string of the form WCWR. So in here I have illustrated how to do for WCW. So there in the worksheet I have given WCWR. So the only change that you have to do is that here you have to check for the first symbol with the first symbol of after the separator. So just W bar in the sense the first symbol has to be mapping to the last symbol in your table and so on. So here in the first question you have to use only the storage and finite control, while in the second question you have to make use of both storage and finite control and this one is multiple track. Just kindly change it. So multiple track. So you have to use multiple track and do it. Okay, that's it. I'll change this while posting the worksheet. Thank you.